Hi everyone, and welcome back to the second part of the series that will focus on practical recommendations on how to implement the financial changes. Are you concerned with the issues such as economic obligation pressure, or do you have no idea about building a good future? Most people face these difficulties, yet there is good news. Self-improvement and making money is actually possible. In this video, you are going to discover useful tips and things that you may have to do which will ensure you turn around your financial situation and therefore be able to have a better life. Imagine wondering as to how drastic life changes change your ability to tally up or subtract from your net worth. Perhaps you are interested in the role of long-term financial planning now that you are considering retiring? These questions we will answer straightforward. This will help you steer through your financial life knowing more. Therefore, let us explore the strategies connected with resilient and high-performing financial strategies here. In the fast-paced worlds of American, Canadian, and West European cultures, the monetary dimension seems to comprise one of the best predictors of people's experience. This is very interesting because different cultures have a different interpretation of what a millionaire should be. For instance, many inhabitants of these areas associate high performance with income, so they consider themselves as members of the family's breadwinners. It brings out the culture of self-actualization as people continue to work to better their lives and have a better financial status. However, it can sometimes make for a kind of vast, oppressive search. Successful adaptation requires that everyone must approach challenges as a form of positive adaptation rather than a negative one. Just think about it. The beauty of it all is, when one is put through some forms of financial challenge, one can either surrender to stress or use that opportunity to draw from it. Such an attitude opens a desire for the future and makes the process of making money more valuable for a person. Furthermore, while contemplating the proportion of net worth, one has to bear in mind that it is not only the average, but median which differs essentially from the latter. It comes from the simple concept that rather than read the actual position of the piece of Central Park in terms of its actual net worth, we should look at the middle of the value range, in other words median net worth. To many, getting to know the difference can be the difference between success and failure financially. For instance, if a person has the goal of personal development, they will be discouraged by averages that are within reach. Nonetheless, if the operation is performed with the median in mind, it becomes possible to discover that the better life is but a whisker away from most people. Therefore, by defining their position in relation to the median, people can have well-founded goals and thus, well-founded plans for altering their financial position. It actually takes a load off their back and promotes more tenacity in their endeavors to forge a better tomorrow. Anyway, the financial wealth is more to do with knowledge and experiences than mere counting of pennies. Once people enter their 30s and above, there is a massive change in the financial management roles. This is a period in which most individuals may get central responsibility as providers, homeowners, and possibly planning for retirement. They do not feel pressure as they do these tasks. Most of the time they feel like they are under pressure. For example, a person can be paying a monthly mortgage, at the same time, putting resources together for children's college fees. This can be overwhelming but can also be very challenging and perhaps the best chance at personal development. Living finances actively is attained by engaging in a specific financial activity, for example, developing a budget or researching an investment opportunity. Perhaps they might want to read books by Dave Ramsey, The Total Money Makeover, or Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. In the end, one can come into terms with such responsibilities, and that is how leads to improvement of one's life and future, and financial freedom no longer remains a fantasy. Life changes specifically can impact a person's accumulation of assets and debts throughout his/her financial life. Changes in life status, like marriage, divorce, or having children brings in changes in financial planning processes. For example, when two people get married, they may decide to start pooling their money. For instance, in case of marriage, the two partners might realize better financial stability if well managed. But it can build up during a divorce, where property is split and security in the future does not directly appear very certain. It does marvelously in revealing this area where self-growth really matters, when some transitions now will make way for a better life later. For instance, after a divorce, one has to go to a financial planner in order to review the investment plan or even seek some other means of earning money, such as starting a business on the side. Many a time, the change that is taking place before the eyes could have better opportunities for making money and change for the better future when accepted with the open mind. In fact, It is well known that one's financial experience is determined by a set of critical events and how a person behaves in terms of those events. Portfolio investment is the key to wealth creation and has a central place for diversification in its model. It makes people aware, particularly at their 30s plus, that relying on regular savings accounts will not suffice for the future they want to live. Instead, they begin looking at every type of investment: stocks, bonds, real estate, and even other forms of investments such as cryptocurrencies or peer-to-peer lending. For example, an individual might want to invest in both high though risky shares and more secure bonds in an effort to perhaps earn higher returns and avoid high risks at the same time. This strategy, in addition, assists in the fight against inflation and contributes not only to the creation of multiple revenues but also the development of one's financial condition. In addition, this is a general rule which implies that the serpent rises against investing in the concept of resilience, which follows the heresy that problems are inevitable. This means that through informal education such as that which can be gathered from literature, whether the book, The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, which the author recommends, people can act wisely to achieve their goal of the good life as characterized by financial stability. After approaching retirement age, the issue that takes the first place is the need to maintain one's standard of living. It also gets to be a bit stressful as everyone starts evaluating whether their savings and investments will suffice to maintain the kind of living which is desired. This pressure can cause anxiety, but on the other hand, it is a wonderful way to encourage self-development on a necessity to have a great retirement. For example, people may begin looking into different retirement programs such as 401k or an IRA because both have tax benefits that could greatly increase their investments. Also, turning to financial planners can help to understand how assets should be utilized by explaining how they will work out in the real world. Picture a person who has spent years practicing savings. Such a person feels relieved knowing they have diversified their portfolio with real estate and stock that pays them during their retirement. Through participation in long-term planning and making proper choices today, they create future for themselves. Finally, clients should leave their working careers with confidence with plans for a fulfilling life after work. Financial planning must be done over the long term, and that is especially the case for the people as they grow old. It is not only about accumulating money for retirement only, but it includes all besides approach when it comes to the financial security of the person. Some people may scramble to think about their dreams, and this can be a great form of self-development. For example, a person may set goals to plan his or her finances for the retirement era besides setting money aside for their children's tuition fees, and other aspects such as health expenses that may be incurred in future. By being proactive, it is easier to manage and probably even eliminate the stress factors that come with any state of financial instability. A realistic action might include using an application that helps to track the spending or on the appointment with a financial planner to define the further strategy. Also, mega stock investors should consider diversification as any possible life trouble should be anticipated. Thus, they can develop the way of sustainable destiny and try to avoid serious financial problems in the future, thus, having a good future. It is not just about numbers as we recall our long-term planning journey that is indeed about passing a legacy. As we come to the end of this insightful voyage through the aspects of financial enfranchisement, they are worth repeating. Can you also think about the difference that it makes in your life when you get acquainted with theories on net worth and planning for retirement, etc.? This is your chance to get active. Accept the new knowledge, which was gained, about smart investments or at least about proper diversing or just the need to be more caring about money matters. Please recall that this is only the second part of our series, and there is so much more to discuss. Now, I challenge you. What practical actions are you going to take today towards changing your monetary destiny? Are you ready to get down to it and make needed changes for real improvement in your life? You can also consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications if you would like to follow this path with us. High performance in our financial lives and a brighter future is only possible through working together.